All right, Harmony Warriors, raise your batons and your shields because this is the moment we officially introduce the start of the show. The Harmony Framework is not just a cute acronym or a fancy chart, it's your battle map, your tactical guide, your 7-layer strategy for fighting your way out of burnout and back into a life that actually feels like yours. This framework was forged, yes, forged, from everything I've lived, studied, witnessed, and survived. It's built on my training as a doctor of behavioral health, my years as a counselor, helping people navigate both the beauty and the battlefield of life, and my own personal journey, clawing, climbing, and crawling my way out of occupational burnout. This framework is your strategic roadmap for building a burnout-resistant life, not by avoiding the battle, but by becoming equipped to win it. Each letter represents a distinct battlefront that influences your rhythm, resilience, and stability. These layers work together, just like sections in an orchestra, but make no mistake, this orchestra is also a war band. Each section has its own power, but when they combine, that's when the enemy has no chance. Throughout this program, you move through each layer, sharpening your awareness, strengthening your defenses, and upgrading your internal systems that keep you grounded and in command. Here is your first Harmony Warriors truth, and what I love most. This isn't a one-size-fits-all formula. Harmony is personal. This framework has structure, yes, but it also breathes, it adapts, it shifts, it flexes with you because your life is not a straight line. It's a battlefield with changing terrain. What works for me may not work for you. And it's not a failure, that's strategy. Think of it this way. The framework gives you the how. You choose the what, the weapons, the tactics, and the tempo that match your life. This is your composition and your campaign. I'm simply here as your conductor, producer, mentor, and fellow warrior, guiding you as you engineer your own harmony from the inside out. Are you ready? Let's meet the 7 sections of your life's war orchestra, starting with the foundation every warrior needs before stepping onto the field, your health. Health is your opening chord, the one everything else must harmonize with. And the battlefield of burnout, prevention, and recovery, if that's where you are, this is your shield, your armor, your first line of defense. Because when your health is off, everything feels dissonant. But when it is tuned, warrior, your whole life starts marching in rhythm. Health is the bedrock of your entire fight. Physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, and financial. Each dimension is an instrument in your internal harmony. Physical health is your percussion section. Your heartbeat is literally your war drum, keeping tempo as you advance. Mental health is your string section, responsive, expressive, and incapable of high-level precision when well-tuned. Emotional health is your woodwinds, the breath, the flow, the feeling that moves through every decision that you make. Social health is your brass, bold, connective, the trumpet call that reminds you that you're not fighting alone. Spiritual health is the low hum beneath the entire battlefield, your grounding frequency, your sense of purpose. Financial health is your metronome, the steadiness that keeps the chaos from creeping into your camp. And here's the warrior truth. When even one dimension goes out of tune, the whole performance, the whole mission feels off. Warriors don't ignore their armor. They check it, reinforce it, and maintain it. Harmony begins with noticing, supporting, and respecting your body and mind, your 2 greatest weapons in this fight. Once your health has a steady battle beat, we can turn our attention to the lens you see the world through. the mindset that shapes how you fight, how you rise, and how you keep moving. Okay, onward to abundance. Your mindset influences your decisions. Mindset is your spotlight. And choosing an abundance mindset is like turning the spotlight from dim to bright, as you can finally see all the possibilities waiting for you. My fellow harmony warrior, here's the part when I tell the truth and you nod because you know it's true. You can't win battles you can't see. Mindset is how you aim your energy, your courage, and your move. Why does mindset matter? Your mindset decides whether you walk into each day dragging dread like a shield that's too heavy to lift, or stepping into your purpose. Like a warrior who knows exactly where they are. Number 2, abundance versus scarcity mindset. Scarcity is that sneaky little gremlin hissing fear in your ear. Not enough time, not enough support, not enough resources. While abundance strolls in like a seasoned general whispering, what if this works? What if I grow? What if I'm more capable than I've ever been told? One drains your power, the other arms you for victory. Number 3, practicing gratitude. Gratitude is like tuning your strings before the battle. It sharpens your tone, steadies your nerves, and reminds you that you've already survived every hard day you thought would break you. It's quick, it's potent, and it shifts your entire internal frequency. Next up is practicing visualization. Visualization is your pre-battle rehearsal, the mental choreography where you prime your brain for success. It's your chance to meet your future self, borrow their confidence, and bring it back to the present moment. Because warriors don't just hope for victory. They train their minds to walk towards it. Having a mindset focused on abundance is you waking up, strengthening, and expanding to become the best version of yourself. It is rewiring your brain to work for you and not against you. This one takes consistency and time, but it's so worth it. In connection with building an abundance mindset is the skill of resilience. This is the skill that lets warriors bend without breaking. Let's move into that. First, we define resilience. Resilience is your comeback rhythm, your warrior drumbeat. It's the skill that helps you rise after every hit, recalibrate your stance, and step back into the arena with a sharper sword and a steadier pulse. It's not about failing, warriors. Warriors fall all the time. It's about learning to land softer, get up quicker, and march forward with more grace and grit each round. In this section, we will talk about how to build resilience. Resilience isn't something you're magically born with. It's forged, hammered, strengthened. It grows through awareness, emotional regulation, and compassionate redirection. Think of it as sharpening your internal armor. Every skill you learn becomes another piece of protection for your future battles. Up next on our resilience training roster is improving emotional regulation. And listen, I'm absolutely still on this journey, y'all. Have you seen my socials? I'm out here practicing my own emotional volume control in real time. Emotional regulation is like learning to adjust your internal soundboard, not muting your emotions. We're warriors, not robots, but making sure they don't blow out your speakers and knock over the entire front world. Then we're going to work on examining and changing behaviors. Every warrior has old battle tactics that once kept them safe, but now hold them back. Behaviors that once protected you may now limit you. Then we're going to talk about how resilience helps you unlearn the outdated moves and master new ones. This is where you refine your strategy, sharpen your awareness, and update your battle choreography. Resilience transforms challenges into growth instead of shutdown. It teaches you to face difficulty with skill instead of fear. And to reinforce that resilience even further, we now move into the practice that brings calm to the battlefield and to quiet the noise. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is your quiet interlude, the sacred warrior pause between life's crescendos. It's the moment you step out of the battlefield dust, plant your feet, steady your breath, and actually hear the notes you've been marching past at full speed. First, we'll talk about how to position the past, the present, and the future. Mindfulness helps you anchor in the present instead of getting ambushed by past regrets, or ambushed by future anxieties. It's your inner shield, keeping you grounded so you don't swing blindly at shadows. Second, we're going to talk about paying attention on purpose. Experiential mindfulness is the practice of noticing on purpose, without judgment and without throwing yourself into emotional hand-to-hand combat with your thoughts and even emotions. It's observation, not obligation. Presence, not pressure. Then we're going to talk about thinking about what you think about. This is your call to arms as the composer of your internal soundtrack. The warrior who decides which thoughts gets amplified, which ones get escorted out of the arena, and which ones are created and added to the strategic plan. These are all important. Mindfulness transforms mental chaos into clarity by bringing awareness to your patterns, your triggers, and your automatic thoughts. The ones that like to launch surprise attacks when you least expect it. You know what I'm talking about. When you can observe your thoughts clearly, you stop confusing emotional noise for truth. You stop falling for old tricks. You step into strategic awareness, the kind warriors use to fight smarter, not harder. And once you can see the battlefield with more focus and calmness, it's time to sharpen the next essential weapon in your H.A.R.M.O.N.Y arsenal. Objectivity. Objectivity is your warrior's lantern, the kind of truth light that slices through metal fog like a clean blade. It helps you see what's actually happening versus what your stressed brain is narrating like a dramatic telenovela with a questionable budget. First up, objectivity equals clarity. It's your strategic reconnaissance. When everything feels chaotic, objectivity steps in like, stand down, soldier. Let's get eyes on the real battlefield. Second, we're going to look at the stories you tell yourself to shape reactions, because they do. And you want to check them often. Your internal narrative means well, but sometimes they can be loud, wrong, and dramatic. Your feelings are real, absolutely, but they are not always accurate intel. And we're going to be marching deep into that skill. Third up, objectivity develops wisdom. Wisdom is that elite warrior move where your logic and emotions fight together, not against each other. It grows when you slow down enough to see the full landscape, not just the loudest thought screaming at you from the hilltop. Next up, we will work on identifying and decreasing cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions, all or nothing thinking, catastrophizing, mind reading, etc., are like static on your communication radio. Objectivity clears the frequency so you're not responding to imaginary threats. And number 5, we talk about how objectivity is the glue. Without it, harmony doesn't happen, period. It keeps your inner warrior grounded, strategic, and centered instead of swinging at shadows. Once your inner world is steady and your warrior vision sharpens, it's time to turn outward toward the environment you live, love, and work in, because even the strongest warrior needs a supportive battlefield. Your environment is the battlefield and the stage where your life performs. You can be the most skilled violinist in the world, but if the stage lights are flickering, the floorboards are wobbling, and the audience and heckling, well, even Adele would struggle. And I love Adele. A warrior can't fight or perform without stable ground beneath their feet. So first up, we want to talk about compassion as a core ingredient for others and yourself. Warriors don't go into battle swinging at themselves. Compassion is one of your parts of your armor. It's lightweight, flexible, and strong enough to keep you human while you fight for harmony. Secondly, is connecting with others. Even the fiercest warriors don't march alone. Humans are wired for connection. Isolation dulls your sound and weakens your strategy. Your people are part of your orchestra and your shield walls. Next up, we're going to talk about boundary. Boundaries are the protective cases for your emotional instruments. Not barriers, not walls, not don't talk to me energy. Boundaries are strategic defenses designed to protect your peace, your tempo, and your emotional equipment. Everyone is welcome, but not all behaviors get past the front line. Next up, we're going to talk about kindness, truth plus compassion. It's far more powerful than being nice, polished, and self-silencing. A warrior doesn't sugarcoat reality. They speak with heart. Niceness plays small to keep the peace. Kindness stands tall to create it. Your environment will either nourish your harmony or drain it like an energy-thirsty dragon. And here's the victory call. You get to choose which one you cultivate. And now we arrive at the final movement, the centerpiece of the harmony composition. Grab your sword and your tuning fork, because this last layer begins and ends with you. This layer is the solo, your moment of pure, unapologetic presence, the part of the battle where you step into the field, sword in hand, shield in the other, and say, all right, life, let's dance. In other words, this is where the spotlight hits, the room quiets, and every distraction backs up respectfully, because your note, your voice, your power takes center stage. This is the moment where your courage isn't whispered, it's amplified. And yes, I know seeing you as the final layer might make your left eyebrow lift. I don't know which one is lifting. Shouldn't you come first? Logically, sure. Alphabetically, the word harmony said, this is what it's going to be. But honestly, after working with this framework, teaching it and living it, I wouldn't place you anywhere else. Because here's the truth. Warriors learn on the battlefield and in the orchestra pit. No matter how many instruments you tune, tools you sharpen, or systems you build, the final chord, the finishing strike, the signature sound of your life, it always comes back to you. You tune everything else. You build every layer. And then you return home, back to center, wiser, steadier, sharpened, and ready to lead your life with intention instead of exhaustion. Because harmony doesn't exist without you closing the loop. You are the final note and the first spark. First up is health. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it's strategic. Health comes first, because without it, every other note becomes noise, and every battle becomes harder than it needs to be. Secondly, do you know your values? Your values are your warrior code, your North Star. They guide every strike, every step, every boundary. Third, be kind and compassionate to yourself. Self-compassion fuels resilience. Self-criticism fuels collapse. Choose the one that strengthens your footing. Sometimes you might take the wrong step. Kindness will bring you back to the right path. Number 4, it's you against you, not the world. Designing your life of harmony means designing your life, not your mother's, your boss's, or that influencer's. Comparison is a dream killer. Your only opponent is yesterday's version of you. 5, no to give. And yes, sometimes choosing yourself means you have 0 to give about anything that doesn't align with your peace, your joy, your purpose, or your well-being. That is not rebellion. That is strategy. That is survival. That is sovereignty. These 7 layers come together to form your personal symphony, your battle anthem. Now, let's look at how this course will guide you, chapter by chapter, through each movement, building your strength, clarity, and harmony step by step.